I made the point a while ago about Trinidad and Tobago being multicultural, multi-religious, multi-ethnic. And that is something that we celebrate as a country. But from time to time, we admit that this issue of race can divide us. I mean, I am calling on the government and the people of Trinidad and Tobago to recognize it doesn't help us as a country for us to put race in the forefront. We have a country to govern, and when you are leading, when you have the opportunity to lead, you have a choice to make, and your choice to make is if you want to fuel race or if you want to bring the country together. If you want to demonstrate that in what you do, you want us as a country to really come together. Because there's so much we could celebrate as a country when you think of the fact that unlike many other countries in the world, that you have the different religions, you have the different races, you have the cultures. There is so much to celebrate. And sometimes we get carried away by focusing on the negatives. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't deal with the issue of race. I mean, you would recall, for example, that Mr. Manning had set up, the committee to deal with the issue of race relations. We can't ignore it. But what we must never do is to fuel race. And from what I'm seeing, this government is fueling issues as it relates to race.
And another thing, I will say the reason why these people, these 1%ers, get in all this trouble and get accused of trying to kill the prime minister is because them was talking and it was like, yeah, around 10 on Tuesday we go swing by with the AK this, and we go, she just come outside at this time, so we need to be out at this time, and she had this amount of body. Me know that is what them was digging our horrors for, bruh. If all they digging our horrors for that, all they will hear to hear why they say. All they will hear to hear the rest of Trinidad's opinions, actually. Bruh. Let me just deal with this. Good morning or good day or whatever. Let me just put this out there. So the UNC have a problem with people calling them by racial slurs. All of a sudden, racial slurs is a problem. But when they don't see flies, calling and referring to other demographics or ethnic groups in the country with racial slurs, it is not a problem. It's only when it comes to them. By the way, Kamala called herself a coolie woman. So if anybody else called she that, she should be happy. So don't try to run and play victims. We know all here. We see in all here. And you see you, Mr. Opinion Box, come. You're too fucking ungrateful. You're too ungrateful. And you see with the hypocrisy? Let me tell you something. You could fool plenty people. But it's about 2 weeks ago, I saw you on a live. You on a live alongside others, just like yourself, calling Afro-Trinidadians degenerates. Let me tell you something. We already know all in that group singing for their supper. All they have no credibility. All they have no integrity. None. So here what to do? Have several fucking seats. Well, you see the size of your ass. Sit down on the fucking ground. Don't mash up nobody's chair. All they too disgusting, man. Oh, fuck.
And in some breaking news, Star Sabga is home. Star Sabga has begun her home arrest after the state lost its bid to keep her detained. Cheesemaker Star Sabga is now at home after being released on house arrest following a series of court rulings on today. Sabga was released a short while ago after a court appeal panel refused the state's application for a stay of an earlier high court ruling. Earlier in the day, Justice Richard Paul ordered the 69-year-old's release on house arrest after upholding an application filed by her attorneys. However, Sabga's legal victory was almost short-lived as state attorneys immediately sought to suspend the order, similar to what occurred when businessman Dominic Hardy and his wife Genevieve secured a conditional release from the Court of Appeal 2 weeks ago. In his ruling, Justice Paul questioned the need for Sabga to remain in detention after Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander revoked the preventative detention order against the Hadiths last week, allowing them to be released. Police kills escape murder accused in Vistabella on Friday, July 31st. Dead end. Escape murder accused killed in alleged police shootout after 20-day manhunt, female detained.
The search for missing person Maria Paul has ended in tragedy, as her body was discovered buried today in Babwa Trace, Wallafield. Before Maria's body was found, Maria's mother fared the worse, as Maria has gone missing before, but would have reached out by now to let her know she was okay. Condolences to the family, and I hope the police finds whoever did this. Let's be real with ourselves. Too many young women are going missing, and there's no flex at all to run away from home. Nobody will love you as much as your mother, your father, your grandmother, whoever is your guardian, right? Ladies, be safe, please. The search for missing person Maria Paul has ended in tragedy, as her body was discovered buried today in Babwa Trace, Wallafield. Before Maria's body was found, Maria's mother fared the worse, as Maria has gone missing before, but would have reached out by now to let her know she was okay. Condolences to the family, and I hope the police finds whoever did this. Let's be real with ourselves. Too many young women are going missing, and there's no flex at all to run away from home.
Caribbean cousin, Madam Boss Lady, while speaking to reporters, stated that the allegation into the alleged assassination plot targeting her and her senior government was not just domestic, it was international. Ooh, Madam Boss Lady, I never knew Trinidad and Tobago is a super country. Whoa. I guess when you fly, they just shut down the airspace. Ooh, Madam Boss Lady. Multiple foreign intelligence agency is involved. I guess the FBI, CIA, Scotland Yard, and Canada's RCMP. Oh, Madam Boss Lady, I didn't know that you are the most, or one of the most powerful prime minister in the world. Ooh, Madam Boss Lady. Wow. And this investigation is active. And she can't say any more on this alleged investigation. Madam Boss Lady, I guess you are more powerful than that man in the White House. And who? Putin. And who? China president. Ooh, Madam Boss Lady, you powerful, boy. You powerful.
Gil, whatever you do, don't go to the supermarket today, eh?
What? Why? What happened, Gil?
Because every time I go there, I spend more money than I planned.
You had me worried. I thought something was wrong with the store.
Something is wrong. The stuff is too friendly. You're working for one item, next thing you know, they're helping you find everything you never know you needed.
Well, that's called good customer service.
Exactly. They're smiling, asking if you need help, recommending products. I can't even say I'm just looking.
I'd rather shop somewhere where people actually care.
And to make it worse,
What now?
there are 7 locations. I can't escape them. Wherever I go, there's a GD Supercare nearby.
That sounds pretty convenient to me.
And then they hit you with those prices.
Don't tell me.
The prices are so good, I end up buying more because I keep saying, well, at that price, why not?
So let me get this straight. Your complaint is friendly staff, 7 convenient locations, and the best prices?
Well, when I put it like that, I guess I don't have a complaint after all.
Come, stop talking and pick me up. We're going to JD Supercare now.
I know you'd say that, but promise me we're sticking to our shopping list.
You know that's not happening.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Perhaps information for the public. When you receive that viral video and the intercept and the leak and so on becomes things to question, if it is formed that the intercept was leaked unlawfully because it's for all intents and purposes a national security document. How did it go viral? It's a criminal offense to have it leaked, and whoever leaked it, if it is, they can trace it back to an individual or whatever department, if not an individual.
Yeah.
Then that department has to have a thorough investigation as to who had access and narrow it down to if 3 persons had access, it's one of the 3 of you all. Which one of you all caused that to be leaked? And where it goes further is when members of the public out there share this viral video. I take it and I send it to my cousin in New York, who take it and send it to my cousin in Samoa, and it end up in Port of Spain, and it's just sharing by way of WhatsApp. All that is criminal. You may not have been the originator of it. It's like it's.
But on a practical level, though, if it's viral, can you actually? You could maybe go to like, okay, who started the daisy chain, but you can't necessarily charge everybody that shared.
Well, why can't you not? But what makes it, the point is there are allowances in the law that caters for the misuse of this.
Right.
The law makes allowances for intercepts to be made, and your phone cannot be wiretapped randomly and arbitrarily. You have to go and seek some warrant and permission under the Interception and Communications
So question, because now there is the opinion out there that I have gotten from people that it is not that they were wiretapped, but that everything is recorded. And it is merely a question of accessing the recordings before it is overwritten because storage space is finite.
The way the law works is this. Under the Interception of Communications Act, there is data that is being stored. Networks have a responsibility to record, and they do record, and they have data out there. So I don't want to call networks name, right? Let's not invite suits.
Yeah.
But you know the communications companies out there that you engage with, and they naturally have a database, and they control the numbers, they control the traffic, they record, they have data. The police can't randomly go to one of these networks and demand the data. They have to justify by way of a warrant, right, that we are investigating Sean Small. And his position is that we believe that from our investigation, that he may have done something criminal. He made a phone call and he issued threats to persons, and then he made another phone call and harm was done to the persons whom he threatened earlier. And we would like to examine the data that speaks to the dialogues, and they will say those conversations, in our view, took place between, let us say, and we're just using this example, using your name. It took place between, let us say, the 1st of May and the 15th of May, 2026. And once there is a warrant that has been authorized by the court, then because you're trying to retrieve data that speaks to something criminal and you want it for investigative purposes, then you go to the network, and the network with the warrant will have to release the data into the hands of the police. So in other words, they can't just be recording everything and then let it back out there randomly. There's a control over what is there, your personal business. So if you're having intimate conversations with somebody, and the course of the dialogue evolve beyond the image that you project on television, then that is a protected piece of material. Now, they can't just take that and release it out there and tarnish your good name.
Audio tape, a popular audio was leaked online, and there were derogatory statements. Some may even say it's racist remarks were made about the Prime Minister. What are your thoughts on the kind of language that was used? Have you heard the audio?
I have heard the audio. I'm of East Indian descent, and I take no offense by what was stated in that recording, and I will tell you why. When we frequently refer to the Lebanese and Syrian community as a 1%, do we do that with the intention isn't that done with the intention of also being prejudiced towards that group in society and being derogatory towards them? So, and that's why I started when I said, while passports and visas can be revoked, my birth paper cannot be revoked. And citizens of this country, whether you're 1%, 2%, 100%, you're a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. And you deserve to be respected. And for some reason, leaders believe because they occupy high office, it entitles you to respect. It does not. I've never believed that. So as it relates to your question, I am an East Indian Hindu, very proud woman, and a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, and I take no offense. And I take no offense because what I heard in that audio was the ranting of a frustrated citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. And if our leaders took offense by being called or referred to by a certain term, well, then they need to cease and desist from referring to other people by similar terms. And they need to operate in a way as if they are working for Trinidad and Tobago, not just for East Indian people or a certain ethnic group in this country. And I say that without fear of contradiction.
A viral social media audio recording capturing an argument between a judicial officer and a prosecutor has sparked intense public debate over the privacy and rules of virtual court hearing in Trinidad and Tobago. Legal and political minds are now calling for strict adherence to court protocols and a closer look at the infrastructure of regional facilities. Jewel Green George has more.
The 3-minute audio clip circulated on social media puts virtual court integrity back in the spotlight by exposing a heated exchange during secure proceedings. Criminal attorney Martin George notes that while electronic hearings became standard during the pandemic, rules regarding decorum, dress, and privacy remain strictly enforceable to mirror a physical courtroom.
Every attorney at law and the party appearing must be prepared and must be seated and must be attired as if it is court. So you can't come in, a sweatshirt and a hoodie or a vest or, a t-shirt that, appears rumpled or cut up or, anything of the sort. You must dress respectfully as if it's physical court you are attending.
The leak has raised serious questions about security breaches. Under Item 9 of the Chief Justice's practice directions, unauthorized recordings by attorneys, parties, or third parties are strictly prohibited, especially in-camera matters. George is now calling on the Commissioner of Police to investigate the source of the unauthorized broadcast.
There are also directions which speak about the question of the recording of proceedings, right? So at Item 9, it says, a hearing by electronic means shall not be recorded by an attorney at law or any party or any third party. And proceedings which are held in camera are not to be broadcast, recorded, or reported by any attorney at law or any party in any matter.
Meanwhile, the incident has renewed a local push to reopen physical court infrastructure. Unity of the People political leader Nkosi Phillips questions why the Roxborough Magistrates Court remains closed for physical trials years after the pandemic, forcing reliance on virtual formats. Phillips describes the building as dilapidated, citing visible roof leaks and structural cracks.
Somebody recorded an argument between the justice and the prosecutor. This is very disturbing. And now we have to look at how we do trials virtually to make sure that other persons that are not supposed to be on the trial are listening to conversations. And as a political leader to Unity of the People, I'm calling for an investigation to be launched as to who recorded this, who posted it, who sent it to this media house.
Phillips is urging Chief Justice Ronnie Budu Singh and Attorney General John Jeremy to expedite the rehabilitation of the Roxborough facility. For Tobago Updates Television News, I'm Jewel Green George.
So I suppose, because it's a small group of them, they're not involved in crime. Nah. Right? Because everybody in Trinidad and Tobago know. There's only two groups of people in TNT that you should investigate and most likely involved in crime, and that the two large community and the African community. We the criminals. Right? I mean, I is half Portuguese, half Indian, and I mix with a little Guyanese. So I all kind of mix up, right? But it's only two groups the crime does come from. Crime don't come from nowhere else. The 1%, the Chinese, nah. All don't tell me that. I don't crime there. Nothing to see here. Right? So, let me forget all investigations and any questions that we might have, any perceptions we might have. Let me just take it and toss it aside, because it do exist. Right? It do exist. Hence the reason why the majority of the prison is African and Indian. More African than Indian, but African and Indian. This is the truth. And based on those statistics, I would have to say that those are the only two groups that indulge in criminal activities. Alright? So let me just put it to rest now. Finally, let's get to the other comment. The stinking coolie Prime Minister. You know what is amazing? They say that is normal conversation too. All the people who do have a problem with that statement, I want you to remember, save this video, and all I could share it more so that they could hear me say this.
People of Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to this amazing channel, my good people. In today's video, I want us to actually talk about this popular or famous private conversation that has had Trinidad and Tobago talking everywhere. By the way, when I talk about everywhere, I mean, like, if you go to the supermarket, if you go to the market, if you go to workplaces, in social media, I mean everywhere, even in our homes. So this particular leaked audio has become one of the biggest conversation in the country of Trinidad and Tobago, or rather the island of Trinidad and Tobago. So I want us to look at the public reaction, the videos that I have attached here. And the main reason is for educational purposes, not to spread rumors, not to attack anybody, but to understand why this story has captured so much attention. So there is this 15 minutes audio recording that actually was intercepted, and then it started circulating online, and it is actually alleged that a businesswoman called Sagba and her niece Genevieve Hadid, they were actually in a conversation. You know, that conversation was private, but then it was intercepted and then leaked to the public. Oh my God, everything changed from there. Because you see, many people are actually surprised by what they had, and people were shocked because you see some conversations, you know, I mean, so many people questioned whether private conversations should even become public in the first place. Because, you know, I understand that, you know, if you actually want to question someone, okay, as the authority, they would have taken the legal way and investigated everything instead of publishing it to the public domain, because there you will be breaching data privacy, you know. So this is one of the biggest reaction from Trinidad and Tobago. And my good people, you know, many people are actually talking. Everybody actually, in this particular one, we have the business people, the leaders, the politicians, everyone is talking about this particular audio from Zagba and Genevieve. And many of them actually, they don't agree with the fact that this private conversation leaked, but anyway, it has already become public. So yeah, that's why even me, I'm talking about this. I know we all respect democracy, but you see, many Trinidadians are saying that elections should actually be at the par. When elections come, you should vote someone that you see will change your island or the island, not by doing anything bad. Anyway, should Trinidad and Tobago decides their future, you know, we all understand that disagreement is normal, but then we all understand also that political difference is normal, but democracy will depend on peaceful debate and no threats or intimidations or violence, because at this point and moment I've seen many comments about, you see these clips that I've attached here. I went to their comment section and I've seen them repeating one particular message, that yeah, instead of coming into fight here and there, we should just come together and probably vote. So we have so many, in regard to this particular leaked conversation, we have people that actually believe in the freedom of speech, and they were asking, should people be judged forever for something they said in a private conversation? Of course, no, right? Even if it was you, you'll be like, no. But again, there are those who will be like, yeah, it makes sense. But if you look at those that are saying no, they'll actually argue with the point that you see powerful people, they should always expect accountability, especially if their words involve public affairs. And yeah, the conversation has actually brought out divided opinion, and we have Trinidadians who believe that this particular leaked conversation, it actually exposed frustrations in the people of Trinidad and Tobago, not just from these two individuals, but from a section of the society. They believe that many people are becoming more emotional about politics nowadays, and pointing out to the rising political tensions, growing online arguments or disagreements. And yeah, you see, we have part A, part B, or party A, party B. Anyway, many Trinidadians are at the moment calling for calmer political discussions, and they are saying that, you see, families are actually struggling and arguing about things that are not even is not it's not like it's their business, but it would have been better if these people all have been discussing ideas and for the betterment of the island rather than attacking each other. Anyway, another conversation that we should really talk about is the fact that many Trinidadians are asking whether sharing leaked recording is ethical or not, because you see, information this particular private information has already become public, and yeah, of course, if it has become public, then you have the right to discuss, yes, but then again, what I know is that private conversation should remain private, unless now it involves any criminal activity, then it will make sense. Yeah, everybody will agree. Anyway, if we try to look in the legal perspective, we have to listen from the lawyers again. Is it okay or not? Because you see, many Trinidadians are saying that the public context also matters, not just the legal or the political. And a short or a particular conversation, a specific conversation, cannot really tell the entire story. And you see, those are edited conversations, not like they actually brought out the full private conversation. And at this point, I can say, people have the right to argue and urge caution on that, because all of us should actually wait for verified facts before reaching conclusions. But you see, one thing with something that has already gone public, it's very difficult to reverse, very difficult. And whatever ends up in the internet, just know that it's going to remain there forever. Many Trinidadians believe that this situation highlights a very big issue in Trinidad and Tobago, and that is to do with political polarization. And they have a feeling that political loyalty has become stronger than the national unity, which is national unity should have been at the top there, not like party loyalty. Again, in every conversations that we get to have, we have those that support it those that don't support it. So if you look at those that are supporting this particular conversation, the leaking of the conversation, of course, they really are trying to defend the government, and sometimes we just have to listen because many people in Trinidad and Tobago are saying that now Trinidad needs more conversation and fewer, back and forth and speeches. The young people also, you've seen them talking or commenting on these particular issues, and for them, they're actually tired of this political drama. What they want is just the betterment of the country. They want more industries so that they can be employed. They want accountability, transparency. They want leaders to focus on their jobs and education of the country and the quality of education, quality of healthcare, crime to go down, the economy. You see, they believe that all these issues affect everyday life of a Trinidadian far more than any political drama or scandal. There is no scandal that actually helps anyone. But if you focus on the job that you're supposed to do, then it's going to help us. Anyway, this controversy should actually become a learning moment for all of us because you see, everyone, whether you're a politician, a leader, or just a normal citizen like me, we should always remember that you see, words have consequences. Words have consequences, guys. This I can attest, it's true, especially in today's digital world. A private conversation can become public overnight. Hey, you just need to take care. Some Trinidadians are saying that you see, this particular incident, it should actually encourage respectful dialogue. People can disagree, or rather, we disagree to agree without becoming enemies, right? Healthy democracy allows different opinions, but it also requires mutual respect. Guys, remember that healthy democracy allows different opinions, but mutual respect. That message has appeared repeatedly in most of our conversation, and there's also concerns about misinformation because you see, some online users are making claims without evidence, and yeah, you can clearly listen to them and know that yeah, this is not true. And at the end of the day, thank God that all of us that are in these spaces, we are adults and we are able to know, But of course, I can't bring out any false claims here. I just bring out opinion only, and many citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are actually encouraging each one of them to verify informations before sharing it, and especially in this one that was just shared, instead of bringing us the full story. Anyway, another interesting thing we really need to talk about is leadership, because you see, leaders should always respond calmly during moments like this, and because on the other end, the people expect stronger response and something that just makes sense. So how these leaders respond during certain controversies matters so much. Anyway, the story reminds us that you see, many people are really concerned about privacy or their privacy, and in this particular age and era, technology has changed so many things. If you have your phone, there's always phone recordings, there's voice notes, there's private calls. Nothing is guaranteed to remain private forever. Many Trinidadians are saying that this is a lesson for everybody, not just the current generation. Before you speak, you just need to think, because digital recordings can last forever and ever. One thing that almost every one of us is agreeing on is that you see, this particular conversation, it has started a very important discussion about politics, responsibility, freedom of speech, privacy, democracy, and whether people agree or disagree. Because at the end of the day, all these things matters, because if you look at the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, they're actually saying that they hope the country will move forward peacefully, and strong democracies are built on, better or through dialogues, which is true. It's not built through fear or violence, but through respectful discussions. So I don't know. I really want to hear from you. What do you think about this particular conversation that leaked in Trinidad and Tobago? Kindly comment down below. Let me know what's your take on this. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye.